Game here for map number 1, live and bringing you guys the noise. It's going to be France versus Turkey on Overpass to kick off our day. And France is going to be on the CT side. You can hear Belgrade making a little noise in the back. People still trickling in here. We're going to have a packed house by the end of the day once we get down to that last semifinal and the grand final to finish off day number 4 and TWC 2016. But we can already see a little bit of an aim duel. Xanterra's playing the back lines here from the Monster Pipe, and you've got a couple of terrorist side players that are working their way around short, so they're going to be looking for these pushes to come around and see if they can't capitalize on this one early. France trying to defend, trying to get that early start, and look at Mistu's position here. And XMS is going to take the long-range duel. He finds one, but there's Mistu. He pounces from the back lines, finds Major. Fuchs going to double up as Despe and Paz hit the dirt, and Calyx left wondering what the hell happened to the rest of his team.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, obviously, Calyx is looking to hold up to that flank. We saw Turkey come into this one with a couple smoke grenades and flashbangs, but unfortunately for them, it was that flank from Mistu that kind of disturbs that set play. Mistu's still over here, of course, where he did come in from the back. Calyx has no idea that there's a player nearby, so Mistu jumps on up, grabs himself the final kill, and that's going to be France whipping around with the pistol.
Yeah, and you say he was waiting for that flank play to come out, but where was he when Mistu came around from the back lines through T-spawn? A little bit lackluster on the timing there, to say the least, but a nice performance there from the Frenchmen as they pick up the opening round. And they're going to have an opportunity here. No bomb plant means a potential force buy from Turkey into this one, and if France can be successful on this, they should be able to rocket off to that 3-0 lead to start us off.
Absolutely. Triple Deeg, double tech 9, but no utility this time. So we see them come into the pistol with a bit of a set play. This time they're just going to be looking to take those aim duels, maybe overwhelm the counter-terrorists once they find them. And of course on the side of France, we've got that triple SMG, plenty of nades, diffuse kits as well, so they are in a very good position right now. And speaking of positions, currently one player out towards long A, again a man in towards bathrooms, but he has to be cautious. He's already dinked. That's going to be Fuchs already out of the round, and a 5 versus 4 for Turkey straight out the gates in round number 2.
Yeah, good flashbang comes out. That was actually a team flash, I believe, that comes out and actually blinds Keo a little bit, and he's not able to line up that shot onto Paz, but they've got a little bit of a forward position by Bathrooms control. We'll see if Turkey can capitalize on that early pick, but it's Xanterra's to drop. Mistu over by Long is going to be able to connect onto that one, and trying to take a long-range duel with Paz right now. They're going to get both chipped down a little bit, but we're back to a 4 versus 4, and Turkey yet to hit in towards the site, and still trying to play these long-range duels with these Deagles, trying to make it happen. And actually Despe has picked up a FAMAS, and he's relatively close up towards the site, so one person overextends, he should be able to punish.
Keo's still sitting behind Optimus Prime, though. He's just waiting for the execution into the site, of course. Still, though, Turkey taking their time. 40 seconds left on towards the clock. Again, everybody up here towards that A site. So the B players on France's side should start rotating up soon. But again, they have no confirmation of anything because Turkey's doing such a good job at keeping their hand unrevealed.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is like you can see how there's 2 players still dedicated over towards the B site for France. And now the hit comes in. So it's going to be a 4-on-2 essentially at this bomb site. And Keo's going to drop straight away. Calyx is going to get one. Despe with the FAMAS that was salvaged is going to take down Mistu. And all of a sudden it's flip-flopped. And now Turkey has got the advantage with the bomb plant, and they've also picked up another FAMAS to go with the armor that they've purchased into the round. And Calyx's position here, well, Nonik is going to pre-fire it, but he's going to lose the battle in the long run, and that's going to leave it all on XMS in a pretty damn clean round from Turkey. They only lose Xanterra's throughout that one, and they pick up a boatload of utility off the back of that.
I mean, that's a really scary situation, but Turkey played absolutely perfectly. France, I mean, they play their players spread out. I mentioned, of course, how initially Fuchs was alone inside that bathroom, and it's that bathroom frag that allows them to pick up that first FAMAS. Once they have the FAMAS, they realize how genuine their opportunity to win the round is, and they play it intelligently, most certainly, as they just sat, wait, passively held, and then to capitalize when France was weak.
Yeah, we see a force buy come out from France here, though. Scout on Mistu. Good pop flash comes out around the corner. Some spam throws out, and Xanterra's is going to tag up a second one as well as find that opening pick. He's down to 2 HP, so he's not going to have a lot to do, but he's actually got XMS down to 1, and he's going to take the duel 2 greater than 1, and Xanterra's is going to double up on the score this round. 2 frags to start us off. We're going to be seeing that double man advantage here for Turkey early on. Calyx almost caught looking the wrong way, but he is going to be able to find that frag on the Fuchs, and that's going to swing it even more heavily into the Turkish side.
Keo going to be falling back, but he spots players. Of course, Turkey capitalizing, but Keo ripping heads from shoulders, takes down 1. It's still 4 players up on the side of Turkey, but 2 of them incredibly tagged. So with Mistu up here inside of Heaven, he should be able to lay down some shots if they had pushed in towards the B site. But Turkey, with a minute still on the clock, they have plenty of time to re-engage, and they're doing exactly that as they fall into the T-spawn.
Here's the scary part about this, though, is that Scout is going to be a big X factor into the round from France, and if Mistu can find those long-range aim duels, I mean, he doesn't have armor, so aim punch is going to be a factor if he does get tagged up, but There you go. He's going to be able to spot him. Hits the tag onto one, trying to go for the jump scout. Not able to connect on it just yet. Major getting closer and closer, but there's Keo. He comes around from the back lines. They know exactly what is going on. Scout still trying to do some damage, and it's all down to Keo with only 10 HP. He has picked up 2 frags into the round, but Calyx, Despe, and Xantares, I mean, 2 of them are one-shotable. Despe on the backside trying to get it done, but Keo, not a lot to go with into this round, and that smoke is going to be very inhibiting on his ability to get back into the site.
Still, though, he finds himself an angle, finds himself another frag. Now, one player on the side of Turkey still tagged. That's going to be Xantares. But Despe still nearby on top of Optimus Prime. They're not able to kill him here.
How is he
Keo
still
has been
alive?
staying alive for a ridiculous amount of time. And with the bomb ticking down so quickly, he didn't really have a chance to come into it. But a great bit of utility usage from Turkey to keep him back. You mentioned the smoke grenade on the top of the stairs, but then also that double Molotov in towards the bank as well pushes him back. So he tries to take the initiative to reposition. And of course, it doesn't pan out. But still made close by the very weak buy of France.
And that was actually really clever of Keo to jump up on top of the dumpster to get in front of that smoke and try to one-way it a little bit. And he actually finds some damage from that spot. So the biggest part about that was Keo was just trying to keep them on the site and hope that the bomb blows up so they lose all of their weapons and have to have more rebuys going forward. And he did a really good job at least forcing 3 rebuys that round. But Paz with the AK going to be able to chime in with 2 and Xantares. It's a pretty vanilla round here from France. Not really expecting too much from that. Xantares almost caught out, but he's going to be able to adjust in time. He's going to be able to find a second frag, and No Nick left all by his lonesome in a 1 versus 5. Not a lot of damage dealt until TKing damage comes out, and Calyx gets dinked by his teammate. I believe that was actually Xantares. A little trigger happy today. Yeah, a little jumpy.
No Nick's still alone. Of course, his position unrevealed, but he's going to be hearing these players just stomp all around him. Calyx doing a good job of clearing these corners, but No Nick coming in from the back.
Whoa!
Oh, so close. You got to give him credit for taking the initiative. Tries to get that knife in, but luckily there's a teammate from the side of Turkey to save his life. And Turkey convert another point.
Yeah, that was actually a team flash, too, that blinded Paz while he was trying to push up towards the site, which stalled him just enough to tempt him for that knife attempt. But we are going to go into our first full gun round here. France is going to be picking up the rifles. We'll see who picks up I hear sprays.
Sprays. I didn't know what that noise was.
Yeah, I hear sprays. So they're playing with the sprays, I guess. But there you go. So we are going to be seeing the full rifle round come out. Despe not going for the AWP. He's playing it safe. He's going for the FAMAS into this round that he salvaged a couple rounds ago. I believe he's had that since the second round when Turkey stole away that anti-eco round. So we will see what they can do with it into this round. No AWP, so he's going to be able to be more mobile with that rifle and try to open up these bomb sites wholeheartedly with the rest of his team with that full rifle buy. But no up in the hands of France. Not something that we didn't really something we expect. You know, Misu's been picking it up, but Calyx opening things up. Keo up in heaven, getting tapped down. Xantares is going to find that, and the B bomb site has been heavily compromised.
Oof. Wow. And that's it. It's cleared. Not just compromised at this point, as No Nick also tumbles. It's Fuchs and Misu here on the retake, but of course with no kits, it's going to be hard. Fuchs still at least finding a frag, but Major chiming in with one of his own as well, and that's going to be the pressure. He overwhelms the heaven position from underneath. Major doing a great job of closing that distance and not allowing France to ever have those players pull back. Obviously, in a 2 versus 5 after plant scenario, the save is already tantalizing. Yeah. He ensures, of course, that it never happens. So France denied another round, and Turkey continuing with this great form.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, this push from Major just denying both of these rifles out of the hands of the CT side, so they're not going to carry anything into this next round. It's 4-1. This is kind of what we expected out of Turkey. I mean, this is their map pick. This is something that we know that they were going to be strong on, especially having 3 players from Space Soldiers. This is one of their favorite maps to play regardless. So this isn't out of the realm of expectation, but we'll see if France can battle back. I mean, a lot of rounds. We're only a third of the way through the first half of map number 1 in this BO3. So, I mean, a lot left to do in this series. But Major finding 2 more frags to open things up. And, of course, there's Xantares.
Yep, with another one. He clears out A long. This is going to leave 1 player inside of connector, 1 player inside of bathroom. So France currently split with enemies in between. Paz going to be finding Keo, who is just trying to dance along the side of the smoke grenade. And then Major as well finding another one. Great job by Major. He clears out that entire connection area all on his lonesome. 3 frags, all headshots, great marksmanship, and look at the cash flow for Turkey already. We've got 3 players in towards over 10,000, and then even Calyx at 9.5. So cash flow for days, and even when France are able to get some rounds on the board, they're going to have to clear that out eventually. Yeah,
and it's going to take at least 3 rounds for him to break that down. And the big thing too is also Despe. He's 6-1-1. He hasn't picked up an AWP. He's only been using guns that he's salvaged up in the CT side. He had the FAMAS, then he got to upgrade it to an M4. So he actually hasn't bought anything
Yeah.
Ever since that armor pistol buy in the second round, he hasn't spent any money on anything other than utility. So that's why he's sitting at $13,000, which means that when the time comes for him to pick up the op, he's going to have plenty of money to go for that big fat buy.
Yeah. And I mean, Mistu taking an initiative at the beginning of this round, he goes for that op peak, so France trying to pick up the pace a little bit. This time, it's going to be Major who peeks close. Of course, while he's scoped in, he's not able to see that, so it's Turkey with the second frag as well, as Despe clears the second. You're going to be seeing France react to this by pulling their players back into the site, because, of course, now that they're at that disadvantage, they need to just turtle shell up, bottle up on towards the sites, and they're doing exactly that, with 2 players up towards A, where, of course, there has been presence, and meanwhile, they still keep 1 towards B, as Turkey has so much time, they can go anywhere.
Yeah, Nonik's actually getting aggressive by Monster right now, so he's pushing out, gathering some information for his teammates to at least let them know that there's no presence outside of B on the long side T-spawn side. So that's good information gathered. That means that they can really dig their feet in towards this A bomb site. I mean, you can see Fuchs has a tremendous, he hasn't thrown anything into the round. Keo's still got a smoke and a flash to work with, so they've got plenty of utility. The big thing is how they use it going forward. There's the smoke out in the bathroom. The smoke comes down through long A, so they're going to be at least awarded a little intel that there's going to be some presence over there. And again, I mean, Nonik pushed out on B, so if they rotate back around and they don't go through the underpass side of things, he's going to be able to get the flank play on them, and they're not really going to be able to expect that. But Keo, did he get spotted? Are they going to check it? They should check it. It's a pretty common angle.
You'd think. Zentera is an incredibly smart player, but
they
don't
check
walking
it.
by. He goes for the second, but Zentera is able to react. Still, Fuchs adds in 1 more, but the man himself finding another, and that's going to be, of course, the bomb plant in. 10 seconds left on the clock, so it does come close. Despe going to be covering the back staircase. He sees the confirmation of the presence off of the frag grenade, and as the player peeks round, it's Despe with the last frag. Turkey now with a 5-point lead.
And I want to continue to point this out. Despe has just slowly been upgrading his guns up to the AWP.
For free.
For free. That's the thing. He had the Tech 9 and the armor. Then he gets the FAMAS. He has that for 2 rounds. Then he gets an M4. He has that for a round. And now he's got Mistu's AWP. So he still has yet to buy a rifle in this game. And we are 7 rounds deep.
That's incredible.
That's ridiculous. And you can see it from the economy. If we can hit tab roll fast and bring up the scoreboard, you'll be able to see it. I mean, look at how much money he has. He's damn near money capping. This is the point where, for those less experienced players out there, if a player on your team dies, have him drop them over a rifle because he can continue to accrue money. Because once you hit 16,000, you can't get any more money. And that's just, you know, smart play from there.
What's scary here as well is that Turkey are now in a position to take another round. France obviously being onto the pistols this time, but Nonik has a bit of an answer. He denies Major the opportunity, but he goes for the weapon, grabs the AK. Paz clearly there to try and control it, but after losing a player to the close-range pistol, he's a little bit cautious in his positioning, and that's going to be allowing Nonik to grab that weapon and fall back into this. So now France find themselves into the 5 versus 4. They've got Kevlar and 4 of their 5 players, and still, again, we've seen the lethality of these upgraded pistols and positioning as well.
Yeah, I mean, a big stack on long A right now from the Frenchman. The hit's coming over towards B, but getting Major off the map, that's a big kill to start things off. Zantera is going blow for blow over here with XMS. They are going to be able to clear him out from the catwalk side of things, but the push coming in towards B now, we will be seeing them execute. This AK is going to have to do work, and unfortunately, Zantera is through the box, or through the wall, pardon me, is going to be able to find that frag onto Nonik, and now it's going to be the big flank coming out from France. They've got 1 from Subway, 2 coming around from the back lines of Monster. And Zantera's not going to nail the timing, so Fuchs able to find Paz. We're equalized onto a 3v3, and Calyx is actually tagged up here, so this, aside from having no kits, this is still a pretty decent round for France, all things considered.
I mean, even if they don't want to go for the round, they can also maybe just go for some frags, but Fuchs chiming in with another. Now, that puts them into player advantage. Of course, no kits, right? So that retake just made almost impossible at this point. You can see the CTs just cautiously waiting, patiently holding angles as Turkey need to exit. But, of course, luckily for them, they will be able to fall up through the A-halls straight towards that site. Despe potentially going to be dropping out to this bomb.
I think he's far enough away.
Yes, he makes it. He's got the cover, so that's the AWP once again saved. So he's not even going to have to rebuy himself, but as you mentioned, most likely his teammates. And that's really the silver lining here for France, is they take down 3 of the players. Even though they're not winning the rounds, which is what they're shooting for, at least they're going to be causing Turkey to spend a little bit of that cash flow.
$500 versus $2,700 right there, boys. And Fuchs, I mean, that's some nice shots. You can barely see the top of the pixel. But again, I mean, Paz down at $4,700, but Despe's still up over 14,000. They've got Xanteris on a boatload of cash. I mean, everybody has got a ton of money on the Turkish side. And now it's even to the point where if France wins 3 rounds in a row, Turkey's still going to be able to have these big buys going forward. Even if Despe, you know, he might be able to pick up an AWP 2 rounds in a row and then have to go for an AK buy. But he's got so much money accrued throughout these rounds that no stress.
No stress.
Who's coming out, though? Keo's in a great spot here. He's going to be able to spot it. Finds the headshot. Nicely done.
Luckily for Keo, he sees them kind of jumping up on towards the rails while they're looking at their feet, trying to position it properly. So he just lies in wait. He knows it's coming, and then it's going to be netting the first frag. But it's Xanteras to chime in with one of his own. He gets the 2 players out here towards Monster. Again, this man just does so much work for this team. He's put them back into the player advantage for the time being. Keo down here towards the B site, locked into the water, but he will deny Paz, who tries to take the fight in an untradeable position. That allows France to still remain competitive here in round number 9.
Yeah, and Keo actually taking down Xanteras swings things back to France's side, but they still got to deal with Despe, who's over here by the pole in the middle of that B-bomb site. And, ooh, they missed the time. Oh, my God. Oh, boy.
This is just a scary situation. Obviously, Keo already with 3 frags. They assume that B site's clear, but unfortunately for Turkey, even while Despe's here, the bomb is towards that A site, so he's going to have a bit of an issue trying to find himself in there, and Keo wrapping back.
All right.
He gets his 4K.
Order has been restored.
Exactly. All is good in the universe.
Yeah, Major left in a 1 versus 3, playing ring around the rosy with Mistu. He's going to jump up on top of the box. He's got a player coming around from the dumpster side. That's Fuchs trying to support. Mistu will hit the AWP frag. So finally a little bit of life out of France. They're going to be able to find one. It comes on the back of a big play from Keo. 4 frags on the round from him, and it was all headshots as well. So nicely shut down, especially after Xanteras answers the call and gets a double himself.
Yeah, I mean, he was, of course, our analyst X Factor, and there it is, 1 round from him. Exactly.
Yeah.
Puts it up. So there's a nice little entry from Xanteras as well. XMS tries to trade in this situation, and he too just topples. Excellent opening from Turkey, and Xanteras particularly. Yeah,
but Keo too strong in the back lines of that B-bomb site. We will see Mistu again on the AWP, but again, because of the money, I mean, look at this buy from the terror side of Turkey. I mean, everything that they could possibly want. Molotovs on every single player, smokes on every single player, flashbangs galore. They're going to have plenty of utility to go forward, and this is actually the best buy, I think, that we've seen out of France so far. Granted, they've got 3 players without head armor, but with AKs and AWPs on the other side, they don't really have to worry about that.
Ooh, there it is. Mistu gives up his crosshair angle, and Despe with a jumping AWP frag drops out Keo, who was, of course, looking to be traded by Mistu, but Mistu also tagged in that engagement, has to reel back into the sights now. Down towards short, it's XMS and Nonik to grab 2 frags for France, and suddenly we find ourselves back into 3 versus 3. 2 players tagged, 1 on each side.
Yeah, the only benefit to that is that Despe is down to 19 HP, but again, he has the AWP, so that's going to be the kind of the factor into this one as well, is that 1-shot kill potential anyway. So as long as he doesn't miss his shot, he should be able to stay alive, maybe culminating a couple more frags into this round. But he is going to be over towards long A, just looking to do a little bit of harassment over there. And you can see, I mean, still full nade kits on both Paz and Despe.
I like seeing this from France as they're taking a bit of an initiative in the mid-round, because Turkey honestly has been very successful in these sorts of situations where a couple of players die, and there's still so much time always for Turkey because
slow down.
Exactly. They slow it down, they take control, and from here they genuinely do win the round. But the difference is France push that player in towards short, they get a bit of information, but again we find this 2-1 split, A towards B, and the crossfire set from the counter-terrorists.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same people alive to this one, but Mistu, he's not going to miss that AWP shot. Remember, he's very low for the CT side, 29 HP, but Fuchs around the backside of Optimus, going to breathe a little bit more life into these guys. Is he controlling his aim with his arrow keys?
No, I really
He's not actually playing with a mouse, he's using arrows. But that's a look at the Turkish side, of course. Nice little stage cam there. Well done. Well done. But moving forward, I mean, 3 rounds now on the board for France. They're down, but they're not out. And I mean, it's 7-3. That was a nice shot from Mistu, but the double up here from Fuchs kind of solidifies the round form in the grand scheme of things, and that's really nicely done from France to be able to start stringing rounds together. But again, look at the buy from Turkey, because we keep talking about the importance of economy. This is the struggle for France right now, is that it just is going to take so long for them to force Turkey onto a save that the potential for them to get reset themselves off of a round loss or 2 round losses is very high as well. So it's a nice edge.
4-point lead still for Turkey, and they're looking to take this one very slowly. France going to have some position over here towards bathroom. Keo inside of the corner, but Fuchs is going to be spotting him, and he gets dinked through the wall there. Yeah. Wow. Excellent stuff. I mean, it's not too big of a situation. France not losing much in the round, but just the fact that that happens is pretty impressive.
I wonder who that was. I think it was Major that was spamming over there and actually dinks Keo. And I'm not sure if he actually hears that he dinked him through the wall. That's the big thing for me, is does he actually know that he dinked him? Because if he does, and he didn't see that player get flushed out from that angle, then he should know that he's around the corner. That smoke is actually going to give up his position anyway.
Yeah.
But not able to capitalize on that early damage that was dealt thus far. So we are still even strength on a 5v5, but Keo is down to 57 HP. So a little bit of a nice find early on for the Turkish side, but we'll see once the execute comes in if they're going to be able to toe the line.
I mean, that smoke grenade that we just see Turkey lie down at the end of the hallway, that's going to allow them to close the distance and get closer to the site. We've seen them be able to split it from the bathrooms incredibly well, and Fuchs inside of the corner here, but it's going to be Keo to find the kill as Xanteres walks through. Calyx with the response, however, and this leaves Keo in towards the site. Luckily for France, Mistu rotates up with that AWP. He finds one on towards Paz, so it's a man advantage for the Frenchman, and another gain, but Major's going to bring it back at least by one, leaving just Despe here into the 1 versus 3. Now he has the AWP, but the time against him. He needs to reel backwards here, and he almost gets caught out. Again, that money, it's looking good, but as they have now lost 3 consecutive rounds, it's going to be starting to bottom out.
Yeah, the big thing about this is with him hanging on to the AWP, they can still formulate a buy behind that. The rest of the team does have enough money to go for that. So this is going to be the last chance to dance for Turkey before they'll be back onto a pistol save. And here's the other rub from that is as France starts to get these rounds in a row, it's only stacking up the money bonus that Turkey's getting anyway. So once they run out of money, they're going to have the money bonus and be able to continue to buy anyway.
Yep.
So that's even more scary is that now that's 3 rounds in a row for France. They're going to have potentially, if they win this one, it's a 4th. And with the money that's left over for Turkey, they might still be able to force up an AK buy and keep the pressure on France regardless of the situation.
Valid point. Turkey, 5 players over here towards the B site, and this allows France now to capitalize off that push. So they gain so much information, and they've already started to box in Turkey. Turkey going to have to be able to explode their way out of the situation. And again, we have also France 2 players nearby on short. So it's not just they know exactly where they are, but they're actually taking a bit of an aggressive stance to them, as opposed to sitting in the back lines of the site and allowing for the flank.
This is the pistol round all over.
You're absolutely right.
They've already got Fuchs in the back lines from T-Spawn. He's going to be coming around from the monster side of things, and there's nobody really watching this from the Turkish side, so he's going to get a backstab. Keo, there's nobody on A, and there it is. Fuchs is going to be able to find one. Keo pops the door. He can't get it done. Fuchs gets the double, but Calyx and Xanteres answer back, but XMS is going to be able to find one. No Nick just hiding in a smoke for now, and they fall back from this B bomb site because now they know how compromised their strategy was. That was a really nice play from France to be able to just throw a kink in the think on it, throw the spanner in the works, and they're going to be able to find the opening 2 kills. Really nicely done from Fuchs.
I mean, Turkey's done this before where they sell the disengagement. They fall back from that, obviously, reeling backwards with the man disadvantage. It forces France to put a player up towards A, because once they take it slow like this, you don't want to give the site away for free. And so now France with only 1 player left towards B, because of course it's Xanteres with an excellent headshot to crack the site wide open. Still, we have 1 player in towards short, and now the rotation from Mistu inside of Heaven, that finds the first one, and XMS's positioning denies it. So France, from the 3 versus 2 to the 2 versus 0 victory, excellent stuff down towards that B site. They hold on.
Now here's what I want to see. I want to see if they actually can force up a buy here from the Turkish side. That's what I'm really interested in, because with the 4-round money bonus stacking up, and I don't think that they actually expunged their entire economy. Oh, he actually almost got 3 out of that. Xanteres able to wheel and deal and find that frag, so that would have actually been even more detrimental to Turkey, and France might have been able to keep more players alive in the long run, but there's a pause coming out. I didn't see who called this one. I assume it would be Turkey after losing 4 rounds in a row.
If it's a tactical, we'll get ourselves that nice little graphic that's up on the top.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
We'll see. Handy dandy.
Yeah. I mean, France has done now a fantastic job. I mean, with the start Turkey had, that was one of the strongest starts I've almost ever seen. I mean, again, it was round 4 with 4 or 5 with 4 players next to 10 grand. That's massive.
Yeah, that money was absolutely incredible from them. And the fact, I mean, I still want to harp on this from Despe, the fact that he didn't even have to invest into a rifle until the 8th round.
It's incredible.
You know, that's just a testament. That's why he was able to continue to buy down the AWP until this situation now, where they're going to be around $3,800 to $4,000. And I actually expect Turkey to go for a buy here just based off of the fact that they know that they dropped 2 players 2 rounds ago, 3 players last round. So the money still isn't stabilized on the French side. You can see it. I mean, they've got 1 player, Mistu, at 5,600, but 1 player at 650, 1,250, and they are going to force. So, I think this is the right call from Turkey.
France is at a decent position, but they do still have to be cautious, not even moving forward, trying to keep those weapons up. They need to bottom out Turkey once more, because obviously with Turkey coming into this on the force, they have nothing left over in their coffers, but by the looks of it, Turkey attempting to pick up the pace here as they head out towards that B site. Now, we've seen them take this slowly, and that's when France can overwhelm them and surround them. Again, we're going to be seeing France with 2 players pushing up towards long A. So, as you mentioned, we saw the pistol round replay in the previous, and this is almost an exact replica of what we just saw.
Yeah, Fuchs doing the same thing, and since they pushed up on bathroom control, they know that absolutely nobody can come over towards that A bomb site, so they're going to pinch again on Turkey, and Turkey's not ready for it. They're just going to accelerate behind this. They do get the 1-for-1 trade. No Nick going to be able to get in the action and take down Despe, but it's going to be Xanteres. I mean, Despe only holding the Tech 9, but again, Fuchs, he's slow on the flank this time around, but he is going to be able to get into the back lines once again for him at an accelerated pace, just because the bomb just gets planted. Keo finds another frag, so that's going to pull the distraction over to another area, and Fuchs still lurking, still bringing it back. I think he just spotted the foot of the player that was over there, but Keo is going to be able to make short work of Major, and now the flank comes around. It's going to force him to push it into the site, and Fuchs finally coming to fruition. Mistu from the back lines.
Yeah.
And another round. I mean, that's 5 rounds in a row for France.
Exactly. 6-7. The score is almost tied. But, I mean, you mentioned it, right? That flying from Fuchs this round was a little bit slow, but I think it's because he's not expecting them to leave that open 2 consecutive rounds in a row. Not to mention, of course, he did it in the pistol. So that's 3 successful flanks now from Fuchs in the exact same positioning. At what point now did Turkey realize kind of the weakness to this play? I mean, they do try to keep a bit of presence in towards short, but the fact that Major's only sitting on the Tech 9 and takes a bit of damage in the first engagement means that he's in no position really to help out. And once he topples, it's just France coming in from 3 different directions.
And look, another buy from Turkey. The bomb plan plus the 5-round money bonus. I mean, this CT half has been such a hard half for France, just based off of the fact that the continuous buys from Turkey have been just, I mean, they've bought almost every single round. That is a great start, though. If they can deny the bomb plant, then they might not have enough money on the Turkish side to go for another investment and keep that pressure rolling. So France, though, they're making a bit of this one. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a blowout. I mean, it was 7-1 at one point.
Great flashbang, lines up Keo, allows Xantares to get inside the bathrooms, and now, if he's not cautious, exactly, Keo's going to be able to capitalize onto the repeat. So, nice little initiative, but the timing just works out for France. That's going to be a 5 versus 4 now for the Frenchman, and Keo has to be cautious. There's 2 players nearby. Molotov up and close, puts down the molly, so now they have confirmation on his presence, and now he spots another player as well, but Kalic's dropping through the wall. This is why he's a world-class player.
Yeah, the biggest part about this is Keo harassing bathrooms so much like this allows Mistu to continue to aggressively peek towards long A.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one player watching the other player's back. If Keo drops there, that means that Mistu has to fall all the way back in towards that A bomb site, and then they lose that forward position. They lose that intel that they have, and then Turkey's going to be able to get more map control. So really nice play from Keo, finding those double frags, and that's going to leave it into a 4 versus 2. Now, Paz has picked up 1, but Mistu's going to double up. He finds a second on the round, and that nade is going to find Paz. Almost the wall bang as well. Mistu overzealously. Still trying to throw some spam out. Paz still holding honest, and Mistu decides to slow it down just a little bit there for the final frag for the insurance policy, and he will triple up on the round. So France, from a 7-1 deficit, tie it up 7-7 going into the final round of the first half of map number 1.
I mean, we saw it right in the interview with Keo. He says, of course, that he's going to be leading the charge, and that if his teammates do believe in him, that they can bring things back and that they can prevail. So it's exactly that. He's not only leading the charge with 14 frags, but he's also putting his teammates in great positionings, as you mentioned, allowing Mistu to have that off train down on long A. And again, it's going to be Keo to go for the initiative here with the AK-47 in towards Party. He's going to be spotting a plethora of players, but down he goes as Keo trades 1-1. Fuchs still nearby. He's going to drop his Major with a flashy MAC-10 dance around, jumps around the corner, finds the kill, and it's a 4v3 here.
That's just silly. That's just silly. I mean, nicely done, though. They're going to be able to get the positive trade going the way of Turkey, and this is actually the best start to a round that we've seen from them in 6. So see if they can capitalize on this man advantage moving forward. They're starting to encroach down towards long A. They've got to be careful. The harassment from lower dark is going to be forcing out an incendiary grenade from XMS, and really no Nick and SMS, because they're playing over the B bomb site, they've either gotten overrun or they've had to rotate back up towards A. So they're both sitting at like 4 kills throughout this first half, but Mistu, he's going to be feeling some pressure over here towards A. You can see they're starting to creep up bathrooms. They've already got a forward position on long A. They haven't crept up just yet. Xantares, now he's going to take the initiative. He hears him fall back. You know, they're going to creep in. This is going to get real scary now. Paz hears the scope too.
I mean, Mistu's making a lot of noise here. Now, because he pushes in towards bathroom, he's given up the site control, and now he's been taken off of the site as Turkey push into it. This could actually have netted him maybe a frag, but Paz checks the back. Again, he was making so much noise, jumping, scoping, all sorts of stuff. And now Turkey in a 4 versus 2. Looks as though they should be able to take the lead heading into the second half. A round finally, but Xantares still sitting in towards the bottom of bathroom. Nonik's going to rotate right into his crosshairs. That's going to be the first frag, and now it's just up to XMS.
Yeah, very difficult situation. I mean, he has to go for it regardless, but a 4 versus 1, he's had kind of a lackluster half, to say the least, but Xantares going to be able to pre-fire a little bit there. XMS does land the shot, but he's still got 3 more to beat. Gets the dink out on Kalix, but he does get headshot in return. So 8-7 is going to be our final score for the first half of this one, and the advantage going the way of Turkey, but it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be with those initial 8 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a great hat for Turkey. 8 rounds on this T side of Overpass, right? But as you mentioned, right, the fact that France were able to bring in just that string of 6 victories is huge, because if it wasn't for that, they'd be already out of this map and looking to be going 0-1 into the series. So Pistol round going to be in a lot here, as it will give either of these teams a bit of an initial push with the advantage, but obviously in the first half we see just kind of how spree-like those victories can be.
Yeah.
And so, don't count anybody out. It's France going to be having 3 sets of Kevlar, a Deagle on Nonik, and utility as well for Mistu to set up a play. Meanwhile, on the side of Turkey, we've got 4 sets of Kevlar and a kit on Despe.
Yeah, second half well underway now, and remember, it was France with a very dominant pistol round in the opening gambit of things, but Turkey came back with that anti-eco force buy, and they were able to string 7 rounds together after that, reset for the French side. So, be interested to see if Turkey can start off on the right foot this time around, or if it's going to be France picking up both of the pistols into this matchup, and you can see they're creeping. They are creeping up towards that A-bomb site. There's 3 CTs that are over here, but they're actually getting a little antsy, and they're starting to second guess, and you can see one of the players rotating back down towards B. All right.
There we go.
Well then, Xantares has come to play. He's going to go take a long-range duel. I mean, that's the effectiveness of that long-range pistol on the CT side. I mean, one-tap dirt nap takes him off the map. That's going to be Nonik down in the dust. There's another one. And another one.
Still 3 players up on the side of France, all of them reeling in towards the bathrooms, looking to re-engage from the shorter avenue that is bathrooms. So Xantares now dropping as Keo puts himself into position off the back of the Defiand. 3 versus 4 to the favor of Turkey.
Nice. Keo going to double up here with that Deagle. Looking for some more action here. There's one more behind Optimus. That's a nice shot from Despe. It's going to be down to Mistu and to Kiyoshima. See if he can find any more out of this round. They're going to be rotating around, and Mistu's going to be able to capitalize. So we're down into a 2 versus 2. Both players playing from Bank's side. They both get spotted as well. And Keo again finds a 3rd. He's looking for the 4th, but it's past the double up. And Turkey steal it away at the end.
I mean, made so incredibly close there. And if France had had the bomb in their position when they put those 2 players up, then in that case, it's going to be Paz with no opportunity to even get these players in his crosshair, because again, they'd have the protection of the dice boxes to plant and fall into bathrooms. Instead, of course, the bomb drops over towards Optimus Prime. He needs to cross and grab it, and it's in that moment when they push into the site that Paz is able to capitalize. Just great marksmanship here off the pistols.
Yeah, I mean, the patience, the RNG on the Desert Eagle isn't necessarily the easiest weapon to control, in Keo putting on a clinic that round, able to pick up 3 kills, but it's all for naught as Paz cleans things up in the long run. Nice shots from Xantares to open things up as well for the Turkish side. So they're going to pick up the second half pistol. They've split pistol rounds, so France picking up the opening half. Turkey's going to pick up the CT half for themselves, and that is going to put them into the driver's seat. And you can see the force buy coming out from France because they didn't get the bomb plant, so they're going to have 3 Deagles, 2 Tech 9s, Palindrome there on the terrorist side. And heavy investment on umps.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, this is great for Turkey in the sense that they're looking to make a lot of cash flow here. And I mean, since, of course, we saw what they could do with that money in the first half, if they're able to get a string of rounds like this now, it's going to bring them so close to victory that it's no longer, of course, the first half where it's just about putting numbers onto the board. At this point, it's about getting that victory, and they could inch their way close. But Despe, he's going to be a bit isolated here towards the bathroom. There's players encroaching onto him. It's Nonik to drop first, but an excellent trade frag from Fuchs. It's a 4 versus 4. France taking damage, but they do still have a presence down towards the B site, and that's going to be Kiyoshima trying to take the fight with Calyx, but Calyx prevails, and now Turkey find themselves an advantage once more.
See, the scary thing about some of these rounds when you go onto the UMP buy is the fact that the terror side for France has head armor on all of their players. So even with the armor pin, you still need to hit them in the face, a couple times in order to take them down, especially from range. And with the Desert Eagle, I mean, you can just one-tap somebody from a very long range with that anyway. So we'll see. I mean, XMS on this lurk towards A. Xantares is still over here. They're starting to rotate off. The bomb hasn't been pressed in, and there's only 15 seconds on the clock, but a nice shot from Major does manage to net them another kill onto Mistu. And now it looks like they might just go for the economic damage onto the French side.
Both Fuchs and XMS trying to push into the last one here. I mean, the problem in that sense is XMS is in a great position as the players rotate off that A site. He's just kind of following them downwards. But with only 10 seconds left on the clock, it's a mismatched timing between the short push and him getting in towards heaven. So unfortunately for France, they're not able to grab the kills that would have opened up the B site. They don't find that bomb plant as well, so it's just going to be nothing but Glocks here and a flashbang on Mistu. Meanwhile, Turkey with another opportunity to make great cash flow.
And we'll see if they can capitalize on this with the flashbang, looking to just get a little bit of presence, maybe a flash out in towards the fountain side to find, a little bit of a forward footing, but I can't okay, they are going to go towards long. This is a little interesting to see 5 terrorists go towards long A. Despe can have an opportunity. 1, 2, looking for a third, not able to lock it down. He does decent damage onto XMS, but that at least alerts them to the presence of a lot of terrorists coming around from long A, and now Xantares with the long-range M4 should be able to put him down, but now's where the UMPs come in, and Major forward position in bathrooms. Fuchs right around the corner. There's a flashbang. I'm not sure if he meant to throw it there. It does look like that was a set flash, but Paz able to find one. He gets traded, so we're down into a 2 versus 2, but it's Xantares on the A-bomb site, and the only one left is XMS with only 13 health, and he does get cleaned up. So 4 rounds the difference. Turkey do manage to clean up the anti-eco rounds, and we will go into our first full gun round now.
I mean, at that point when they killed Despe, obviously France is just looking for a bit of an opening, and if they can find themselves a weapon, put it into the hands of the right player, suddenly it's a real chance for them to maybe find an opening into the sites, right? And this is the case. Despe gets taken down, and what do they find for their labor? A Tech 9.
Yeah, right.
It's better than, of course, what they have, and I think it's this bit of an initiative in towards bathrooms that really makes the round scary, but other than that engagement going France's way, it was Turkey all over it.
I mean, at least the saving grace was Fuchs was able to get a kill with that Tech 9 once he picked it up.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yay.
We've got the AWP in the hands of Despe. He's going to have to buy this one. It's invested up.
There's a first for everything in this matchup.
Yeah,
Despe
exactly.
actually has to buy a gun this time? Are you kidding me?
5 AKs across the board for France. They've got their utility as well, so they're in an excellent position, as is Turkey. This is really just a genuine close gun round.
Yeah, I mean, across the board, I mean, France has pretty much everything that they want to work with on this one. I mean, a little limited on the utility on XMS and Mistu, but the rest of them have got, 2 Molotovs. They've got plenty of flashes. 1 HE to soften him up a little bit. This is interesting, though. Mistu is boosted up. XMS is going to have him up over the top, and they're actually kind of slowly creeping out on this one just to see if there's anybody tucked away in that cubby, but not going to be the case. And Xantares popping a couple of shots. His reaction speed is just so ridiculously fast. I mean, I would have never hit that in a million years, but Mistu and XMS going to open things up. It's going to be Paz down to 18 HP, but he does manage to trade out 1. That's going to put it into a 4 versus 3 situation. You can actually see France falling back from this one. They have the advantage, so now they can group up and they can hit a bomb site. And there's actually only 1 player over towards B, and that's Despe with the AWP. So still a tall task for France to get in here.
Yeah, of course. They need to get past that scope weapon. And I mean, at least they do have the player advantage. So if they come into the site and they lose 1 or 2, then hopefully the trade frags will allow them to find that bomb plant. But the execution comes in with 30 seconds left. Deske is going to be pushed back by a bit of cover fire as Major finds an opening kill. This is an excellent look for Turkey at the moment. But Despe watching the cross, he's going to miss that shot. The bomb goes down. It's France with a very real advantage here. Still, Turkey with a very real chance as well.
Yeah, I mean, the main hindrance here for Turkey is Paz being low and now dead, and now they've only got Major with 45 HP. So a really nice round from France. I mean, the aggression over towards Bathroom nets them the opening couple of picks, and then they can just fall back and regroup. And you can see how they can just mob mentality that bomb site. I mean, Despe, that was a very uncharacteristic miss from him with the AWP. I mean, that was probably one of the easier shots that you're going to get. And it seems like, you look at players like Kenny S and Guardian, they always hit the hard shots. They always hit the flashy shots. But sometimes it's the easiest shots are the ones that you miss. But in that situation, Despe misses, which could have been a 2 versus 2 situation going into the post plant.
I'm interested to see exactly how Turkey is going to change up their defense over here towards the A site, because obviously with that boost from Mistu, you can see them checking all these little cheeky angles.
Yes.
And it has been Turkey with forward positioning inside of bathrooms. We've seen Xantares to the top of bathroom. We've seen Despe in the top of the bathroom. So now if they're aware, of course, that there are players here from Turkey in these forward positions, they're constantly looking for them. It's a good idea for maybe Turkey to fall on back, because if France is so aware, they're just going to be able to use that trade frag potentially to their advantage.
Turkey going for the 4s here. I'm not sure that I agree with this, just based off of the fact that they still have a 3-round cushion. Saving 1 and going for a big buy, getting the AWP back into Despe's hands. I mean, it's kind of an important thing, especially on a map like Overpass. I mean, he can be so dynamic with that, pushing up in bathrooms, pushing on long A, getting, down on Monster at B. So, I mean, you can be very dynamic with the AWP on this map, and not having that firepower. I mean, even Major with the Meg 7. Where is Major playing? He's pushed up over towards the underpass stairs. So, I mean, close quarter battle for him. So he could net some money into that one, $800 per kill with the Meg 7. But
and we also mentioned, of course, Xantares. He's got that M4 covering the top of the staircase. So here it's exactly that.
So it worked.
Yes,
it worked.
Perfect. Major's able to commit to the position because Xantares is there to cover. And if you want somebody covering your back, it's exactly him. So he finds the opening frag, and then Major able to grab a second as the France side tries to react to that first frag. Now, Calyx is going to grab just 1 more, and it's just going to be 2 players left for the side of France, both of which are just encroaching their way through these bathrooms. But Xantares on the site, he's got support, and they still have Major on the back line. So this is Turkey all over the round.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, he's just jump spotting from back default. And they've got a player over towards long A. They've got, I mean, this positioning from Major. Where is Major? He's going to smoke at the bottom of the stairs. Okay. So if they do push back around, he's going to have himself a little bit of a eagle-eye view, and XMS might oblige. He does, but he actually wins the battle. So turning things back around, 15 seconds left. They're going to have to push a site, and it's going to be the B-bomb site. There's still 2 CTs over here. There's going to be a rotation to heaven. They're going to have everybody in position that they could possibly want. And Nodig parting gift, finds Xanteras, but it's the double frag from Paz and another round on the board here for the Turkish side. And with that being said, that might actually be a bit of a reset for France.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the criticism was justified at the beginning of the round with the bye. It was a bit of a risk here for the side of Turkey, but it works out, and that's the perfect situation, right? High risk, high reward. As you said, sets France back and gives Turkey now a 4-point lead heading forward. They're already into the double digits. France not in the same boat, and it's going to be a fantastic purchase from Turkey. With a UMP on major, they're still looking to bring a bit of the cash flow forward. Calic's going to be expending some utility here as France looking to take a fast round. Now the nade does damage, but it's XMS with the first kill. Blinding flashbangs, however, keeping France at bay for the time being, and there's lots of presence here from the side of Turkey.
Yeah, major long range with that UMP actually does manage to find that pick, but mission accomplished. Bomb planted. Another kill on the board for France. It's Paz up close and personal to find one onto Keo, finds the second onto Fuchs, and it leaves no Nick and XMS in a 2 versus 3 post-plan situation. Bomb taken away, but both players are going to be over there towards the short side, and one smoke is going to be all that they need. They might be able to boost up on top of those sandbags, but they know the angle for this spam. Here you go. They are going to boost on up. Spamming through. Nobody's actually on the bomb just yet, but he's going to be looking for it. Spam, spam, spam. Not actually spamming through. Despa's going to be able to find them both, so Turkey picking up a 13th round. They're now 3 away from closing out map number 1, which is their pick. And then map 2 is Nuke.
Scary stuff.
Scary stuff.
I mean, this is a really nice play here by Nonik. You can see him go for the spam through this, or excuse me, it was just a moment before. It was XMS, who, right before he takes the boost from Nonik to go onto the top of the sandbags, he rattles off a couple of shots from the side. And we've seen, of course, all tournament long where players are able to react to the tracers coming through the smoke grenade.
Yes.
So as France try to lay down cover fire, they're all training into the side of the smoke as opposed to the top of it. Nice little initiative from France, but unfortunately they're not able to stop that defuse. So Turkey with another opening frag here in round 22. It's Calix with a headshot down towards B, and he double ups on it. It's going to be, again, a gun round from France and already into the 3v5. This one, it did not work out whatsoever.
Yeah, they've already been forced off of that push. I mean, they tried to go fast through Monster towards that B-bomb site, and it just gets thwarted immediately by Calix hitting a couple of really snappy headshots. I mean, a tough spot for France to be in. This is another situation where the money bonus is starting to stack up, so they are going to be forcing pretty much for the rest of this half, or until the map is over, but not looking very good for France in the opening gambit of things, but at least we know Keo came to play. That's one of the things to take away from this one, is if Keo can replicate this performance on Nuke, which is the map that they chose, then it's very possible that they can bounce back and take this to a third map.
Yeah, and I mean, just before when we were watching the map video, you were telling me about, of course, he has these huge performances on Nuke throughout the qualifier of this event. So, I mean, we've seen
30
it.
Something the last
exactly.
time
So you've seen it before, and maybe we'll get to see it again today.
Yep.
Time will tell as Turkey still sit firmly in the lead. 5 points ahead of France, but I mean, we've seen France prevail after breaking through the economy of Turkey the first time. Nothing to stop them again.
And here's the funny thing, too, is like you look at a situation like this where they get the 2 opening picks and France falls back. Turkey doesn't even have to rotate any of the players to any other positions because it was just Calix that was taking the gunfights. So they're still in a full default CT side setup. And you can see they're going to start pushing in. Nice shot there from Keo, but it's Calix again. Picks up a third. He could go for some more. Keo's coming around the side. Will finally quell that. And Mistu finds another. So actually we're coming back into this round. This could go from a 3v5 down to a 2 versus 2 post plan. Nade comes out, going to do a little bit of damage, but this forward position for Mistu, they clutch it out.
Excellently played
what
by
a comeback
France.
in the round from
Keo
France.
with an opening, headshots, accuracy, great stuff. Both players just taking that fight. That forward positioning from Mistu catches Turkey with their pants down, and they are out of that one. So France, I mean, we just said it, right? Nothing to count them out, and they prove exactly why.
Yeah, I mean, these were just beautiful shots from Keo. I mean, Calix did everything that he could in that situation. He gets 3 kills on the push in. The initial first push comes out. He picks up 2, and then Keo just rattles off some shots, finishes off those players, and somehow France battled back into that one. I was starting to count him out of the round, but, I mean, a 3v5, CT side, you shouldn't be losing those.
No, absolutely
you should not be losing those. It's going to have to take some mistakes, and I think some of those, I mean, it wasn't really mistakes. It was just Keo
with headshots.
Keo being Keo.
Either mistakes or a big individual performance, and it's exactly that he gives them. So Turkey can be coming back into this one with a force buy. We've seen them prevail in this situation before, but they don't have that Mag 7 on Major. Instead, he's just going to be playing with a pistol, and that's honestly a big difference because the Mag 7 is viable in this position, and even while Major's down there, it's not Xanteras to give him the cover fire. Xanteras in the bathroom. Major drops.
Works, though.
He tries to take the fight. He grabs that dink. Fuchs down to 2 HP. Great flashbang to force Xanteras into the corner of the room. But this just goes to show France still aware of the positioning. The shadow giving him away, and Xanteras with another one. He's going to be trying to re-peek out towards long. The smoke grenade going to be giving cover to Mistu, so he looks to re-engage. And now you can see France trying to come here to take out Xanteras. They can overwhelm and outnumber him, and they do exactly that. Fuchs with an opening. It's a 4 versus 3. France, they find an advantage.
Yeah, and luckily Fuchs was there. I mean, 2 HP, he has to play this one safe. You know, he can't over-peak, he can't play overzealous, but
again,
I mean, Keo, he's stepping up now. I mean, you saw when the scoreboard at one point, he was sitting at 20-plus kills. I mean, he's 3 into the last round, he's got 1 into this round, so he's up close. He's getting closer and closer to 30, so we will see. But for now, I mean, the pressure is on for Turkey. I mean, even though they've got that 4-round lead, France, these last couple of rounds, I mean, losing a 3v5, a 2v4 ultimately at the end there is unacceptable, and that's something that can tilt you, you know. That's something that can, you know, set you off. And now it's going to be Turkey to try to battle from behind into this round, and that's a nice opening there from Paz. But this smoke up top, that space, he's going to walk through.
Sua's trained down upon him, and now Kiyoshima's still on towards the site. Paz with a wild spray deals so much damage, but again, it's a player for the Frenchman surviving with 2 HP. Kyo still locked into the site. He's just going to be playing it, but a great wall bang from Despe. Awesome shot to the 2 versus 2. Turkey looking for the retake here. They're playing for the round, and Paz has that M4 trying to lay down the cover. The Opper needing to close the distance. Mitu out towards here, on towards Monster. He's the last man standing, and Turkey do it. They give it right back to France. France not the only team capable of clutching rounds they have no business winning.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, you know, I'm talking about... I just need to stop talking about some of these rounds, because it's like this is a 4 versus 2 post plan in a B bomb site, and they get 2v4 retaked on. And then the previous round from France, it's oh, that was ridiculous though. I mean, if Despe doesn't hit that shot, of course, but we can't sit here and say, you know, if, but, whatever, because he does, and Turkey ends up winning it, and they go up to tie point for the time being, looking to go up the map point. And they've got themselves a cushy little lead, and with that, it's a reset onto the French side. So even with the bomb plant, they can't formulate a big buy because they lost so many players the round before that. Remember, it came down to that 2 versus 4. They did keep 2 players alive, but 3 rebuys, now 5 rebuys. They can't really afford to continue to do that. So France playing from the back foot this time around, and Turkey with a great opportunity to start closing out this map.
Nice little boost here. Keo looking to take an initiative in towards the B side, and he does spot players, but now, of course, he's revealed his positioning. You can see Turkey just repositioning themselves. They know there's presence nearby, and it's Despe with Xanter's help to take down the first 2. Mid-control, completely toppled. 3 players left standing for France, but only barely as Keo takes damage trying to take another boost. Calyx was prepared this time.
Yeah, and Calyx is going to find no nick as well, so things going from bad to worse for France. These last 2 rounds have been interesting, to say the least. There's the cleanup on Keo. He only had a handful of HP, and he's going to go down. Fuchs versus 5. Not a lot he's going to be able to do into this round with just body armor and a Tech 9, so see, take away a gun or 2, try to make something happen. He's not even going to get that far. Nicely done from Calyx. Another 3K on that B-bomb site from him. He's been a force to be reckoned with over in that area, and you can see, I mean, fragging together as a team, as a unit right now, you've got 18-16, 18-16, Xanteris with the lead at 23. On the opposing side, you still have 6 kills on No-Nick, 8 kills on XMS. It's a wonder that France is even in this one, but you got Kiyoshima with, you know, 25-plus kills for them. And
I mean, this just goes to show the strength of having that core unit of space soldiers with inside of Turkey, right? The trade frags, that teamwork. It's exactly what's panning frags out, and now it's going to be Despe with that AWP trying to get the initiative over here towards Fountain. He has to be cautious as there are 2 players incredibly close, but he whips onto the first, and that's No-Nick out of the equation. XMS attempting to trade the frag, and Despe doesn't realize that there is another player nearby, but unfortunately for the side of France, they're unable to grab that trade frag right out the gates, and now it's a 5 versus 3. Turkey with a very real opportunity to win this game.
XMS can actually go on a really nice lurk right now because they have no idea that he's gotten by. They're still watching up towards Party. Xanteris is still pushed on long A. It's going to be Major that's going to confront him, and he's going to hit the shot. So now that's a big lurk from XMS. That's a really nice find, and now Fuchs is going to be able to find one. They're answering the call now, and they've gotten the advantage back into their hands. So Turkey's going to be playing from the back foot, 2 versus 3. And XMS continuing to push forward. He's going to find another frag. So this is a really good round from XMS. He's a player that we haven't been able to say a lot about because he hasn't been on the kill feed all that much throughout this map, but this is a high impact round from him.
What's interesting about this situation, what kind of maybe would explain that Turkey's up onto this 15 rounds, is you have to think that on their CT side, there's been 2 times that they've gone towards that force buy and putting Major inside of the connector. Once with the Mag 7, the other with the 5.7, and them winning those 2 rounds with those follow-up ecos is giving them 4 rounds, nearly making this difference, right? So it's not necessarily that France haven't been playing well, and so it's not a surprise that they're here into the 3 versus 1 after plant scenario. Calyx looking to at least retake the site, but Fuchs now spotted, the second player known, and it is just France to be able to hold. They lie in wait, they grab those kills, and they clean themselves up another round. So don't think, of course, that they're 5 rounds back, but they've actually been out of this half. They most certainly have been on the kill feed, and they most certainly have been on the board.
Stadium's starting to fill up a little bit here as people continue to trickle on in. It's good seeing you guys. How you doing, Belgrade? Good. Took a second.
Yeah.
People still waking up.
It's still early here.
People still waking up. That's fine.
I feel
France, well, they hit double digits. It's going to be a force out here from Turkey. Now, we've seen the force buys work for them in the past, but it's Xantares to pick up an off this time around to join Despe. So the double op setup comes out here from the Turkish side. We'll see what kind of damage they can do with this. MP7 for Major, UMP for Paz. Only one with real utility. Oh, all right. Well.
Grabs the cross. Excellent marksmanship once more from Xantares. Just completely consistent. That's the crazy thing. It's not just the raw talent, but the amount of consistency this man has all the freaking time. Exactly. No matter the weapon, no matter the position, no matter the side, he's just a great overall player. The whole package.
Keo got wrecked from something. He's down to 1 HP, so he's going to be worse for the wear on this one. And this is a good opening for Turkey. But again, I mean, the clutch play that's come out from both sides, you can't call rounds early like this anymore. Just based off of the fact that France wins a 2 versus 4. Turkey wins a 2 versus 4 the round immediately afterwards. So it's back and forth, back and forth. Let's see what they can do into this one. I mean, even last round when it was a 3 versus 4 in favor of Turkey, and that lurk from XMS is on point. Now they're going to push on up. And Paz, weapon switch.
That's going to cost him.
Ripperino Peppercino, he's going to go down to XMS immediately, and Fuchs is going to find another frag, so they're fighting back again.
And they're finding this bomb plant as well. Now, Calix has still have this forward positioning, and we've seen him find excellent headshots from exactly here. He tries to peek on up, but it's XMS to deny it, and France solidifying themselves into the round, and that's exactly what they need. Turkey on the brink of a victory here in map number 1. So Major's still on the back lines, and this is the thing. Turkey are coming in from 2 different directions, but Xantares looking to save already, so Major's just looking to deal damage on the exit frags, and he lets the first one cross. There's so much damage that can be dealt here. Nonik as well on the site. He never hears this happening. Is Major going to go for the defuse?
He doesn't have a kit.
Oh, the tragedy, but he does tap it. Now he sits. He's still going to be able to do the chance to take down players. They're all pushing forward, and Major with another one. It's just Keo left. 1 HP, and as Major exits, Keo takes it, but what damage dealt? The round still goes to France, but an incredible play. He clears out the entire team.
What a ballsy play. Just imagine if he had a kit in that situation, he wins that round.
He wasn't even walking.
Yeah, he was running right behind him.
They never saw that coming.
Never saw it coming. Beautiful stuff for Major. Unfortunately, they're not going to have the money to invest behind this one on Turkey, but Xantares keeps the AWP into the next round, and that was almost an amazing play. Almost. I mean, it was an amazing play, but it was almost made even better. Yeah, it was almost a legendary play right there. Just a little bit unfortunate. But like you said, I mean, he clears all of the guns off the side of the France squad, and that's an expensive round regardless. And now Paz, well, XMS is on this one. They're going to continue to push on through. There's the opener. Alex is going to take his hand. Despe going to try as well. And XMS, the triple spray down, going to finish him off. It was a good opening for the Frenchman.
Still Xantares left alive. I mean, he did survive with that AWP from the previous round, right? So he's grandfathered this forward. Really not much to lose here, of course, unless he wants to bring it into the next one. But Major also dropping as Nonik makes a bit of money off the back of the Mac 10. Xantares still inside of the lower hallways. I mean, there's so much time still on the clock here that if France really want to hunt him down, they can. But again, because Major dealt that damage in the previous round, do they want to go for this? The thing is, France needed 5 consecutive rounds to bring this one into overtime. And if when you bottom out their money, it's going to make it these rebuys harder and harder. So it's a nice little attempt by Major. They are. They want it. They want the frag.
Little team flash there. Nice shot from Xantares, but he's not ready for Nonik to come around the corner. Gets blinded up, but that flashbang is going to abate in time. Nice shot. Xantares taking down a second one. Not ready for the player to come around from the back lines, and XMS is going to finish him off. We will see a pause come out, and this has got to be a tactical pause now this time around from Turkey. They don't want to give any more back to the Frenchmen for the time being, and well, what a comeback this would be. We saw France do it on Dust 2 against Canada yesterday, before that 16-0 came out. Can they do it again against Turkey? Can they force overtime? That would be our 3rd overtime map that we've had the pleasure of casting.
That'd be 3 overtime maps in the last 4 maps played here in Belgrade.
Yes, it would. Which would be insane.
It's just a testament as to how close this competition's getting as we find ourselves at the end of the quarters and now into the semis. So great tournament that continues forward with great games.
I will say to anybody who's out there in the audience who didn't stick around for the Argentina match last night,
missed something miraculous.
Something special. Yeah. Overtime on the first map, overtime on the final map, and Argentina upsetting Sweden to move into the semis against Denmark. So that's going to be a very exciting matchup to bring after this one's all said and done. But for now, France wheeling and dealing, getting themselves back into this one. 3 rounds being the difference right now. Turkey still up in the lead, but they've still got a lot of work to do to close this one out. Could be 1 round away. or France could continue to chip away at this lead and make it even more competitive.
And you can see how France are playing this one incredibly slowly right now. That's because they have this double op setup. So they're trying to use these scoped weapons to find an angle into one of the sites, pluck a player out of their positioning, and then push forward, executing in with the advantage. And since Turkey don't have an AWP of their own, they're just going to have to be relying on standing in the sites, using the positioning to their advantage. So it does come down to who grabs what first. And it seems as though France look to want to take this one towards the B side. They've got that bomb still over towards the backside of Monster, and now they have a presence inside of the short halls as well.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting that France decides to go into a double up setup into this round in particular, because the rifle work has been working for them in the past. I mean, it has come down to some clutch play, but the rifles have been working, especially on the back of Keo. So it's curious to see why they would decide to pick up a double up setup into this one. But again, Turkey, they're not going to be ready for this.
No.
They're not expecting a double up setup, let alone on the terrorist side of Overpass. So,
I mean, Keo's been trying to work this angle in towards short, and the same can be said for the player on Monster, but nobody being presented here. So Turkey doing a very good job of keeping themselves hidden. Now, Major peeks wide, and he drops first. It's Fuchs and XMS with 2 kills already, but the refrag from Paz over here from Graffiti, and another one from Keo. He looks for the repeak, and the 2 CTs starting to topple on towards one another. Despe finds the headshot, but the bomb goes down.
Yeah, you still got Keo. It's a 3 versus 2, and where is the final player? It's a late lurk coming around from the top side of the A-bomb site, but Mistu, style points, going to find one. Xantaris, the last man alive in this situation. Now Mistu is very low. Xantaris is going to be able to find another one, but he is not ready for No Nick to be in this position. This is where that late lurk comes to fruition. Is he going to be able to finish this one off, or is Xantaris going to walk away for the time being? And Xantaris not ready for it. No Nick finishes it off, and France live to fight another day. It's come down to some very close rounds.
Incredibly great trade fighting going into the site. I mean, that one could have been anyone's. And you see Xantaris with incredibly intelligent utility usage. He doesn't know where this last player is. Obviously, coming in from the long flank is the least expected position.
Look at that second half round trades compared to the first half.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot what I was saying.
Trade frags.
Yeah, no, the smoke grenade, the great utility from Xantaris. He uses the smoke to cover it off, so even despite the chances being slim, he still uses that smoke, and because he knows it's a possibility, plays it out, clears Monster, unfortunately still does fall.
Yeah, in the long run coming up just a little bit short because they weren't ready for No Nick to have that really nice lurk over towards that A bomb site. And that's one of the things about this map is because it's a top-down, the A and B bomb site rotations are so fast between the two maps that if you time it right with those lurks on towards the A bomb site on the terrorist side while your teammates are taking B, you can really get into the back and really mess things up for the retakes for the CT side. Xantaris hit a couple of really nice shots going into that retake, but unfortunately the positioning for No Nick was on point. Keo, though, going to get dinked up here from long-range pistol shot. Now they're going to start pushing here. Major's going to go down, Despe's going to go down, and Fuchs, he quells the push for the time being. It's a stack on B. Let's see if they're going to be able to sniff this one out because Fuchs is going to battle once again, and now they're starting to push up in towards the B bomb site. On the backside of the pole, though, there is a player, and XMS wheeling and dealing does go down to Calyx. Calyx has been so strong from this position over at the B.
Still Fuchs inside the bottom of connector. France, they've got that man advantage, and still the weapon advantage, right? This is obviously an eco rounder or a slight buy from Turkey. Just trying to deal some damage, and they have. They've at least put France into a bit of a pickle. Ooh. 4 players still life. Fancy. Excellent little pop flash. Great angle work. France looking to split out on towards the B side. They're going to have 2 players coming in from short, 2 players out from Monster. Now, Paz is rotating back down, but Calyx has struggled to hold this in, so we're going to see if he'll be able to do it now with the pistol. Paz re-peeking out from Graffiti. He's going to be spotting these players. Calyx doing the same, but it's No Nick with a headshot to drop the first. Calyx bringing it back by only a smidgen. He's grabbed his AK-47. He almost finds the third. What an individual shot. That was made again incredibly close. Turkey on the brink of taking some of these rounds, but France continuing forward nonetheless.
Wow, that would have been the hero play, pulling off the Alamo there at the end of that one. This is the underpass play from Fuchs, stopping this push. Really nice stuff from him, just playing the patience game. The pop flash was right in his face, so he recovers really nicely out of that one, but we will see the French buy down. It's going the full 30 distance, if not more. We're into the final round of this regulation. 30 rounds played now. Can Turkey finally close it out, or will France bring it to OT?
We're going to find out. Minute 35 still on the clock. Again, it's going to be France playing down towards short water B, and they have used this positioning to actually execute quite some nice times now. So Turkey not looking to take the initiative. They do play just within that B site. They tried to push it out when they had pistol rounds, and they met no resistance in that one particular round. But other than that, they've just been very passive with their holds. And again, we're going to have an AWP on both sides, Mistu versus Despe. It's a very close buy on both sides, other than, of course, XMS's limitation with the tech. But Keo just looking to lay down shots. This is the opportunity for France to just feel out their opponents, right? Still a minute on the clock.
Yeah, look for those early pushes, look for the early aggression and things of that nature. I mean, you do have Despade with the AWP playing aggressively towards long side of bathrooms. So that's going to be interesting to say the least, because if they do push up, they could actually pinch on him. And now you can see, okay, he is falling back. He's going to go back up towards the A-bomb site for the time being. And now they're going to play the boost here on the CT side, and this could work out into their favor if they continue to push a player down. Did they not spot the head? Okay. Didn't spot the head of the player that was over there in the short water, so they are going to be throwing a ton of utility out towards this B-bomb site, and the execute is going to be coming in here from France any moment. They're starting to push up. You can actually see Keo getting out in front of the long pipe. The rest of them are going to be grouped up here, so this is going to be some good forward positioning for the Frenchmen. Now Keo just trying to lay some spam down, but what is this rotation from the CTs? Major going back up towards Heaven. He's going to get smoked out. Now there's 2 players to defend on this site, and it's going to be Major to find the opener onto Keo. Bullets starting to rain in from all directions. It's Major again to find a second one. It's going to be Turkey coming out on top right now. It's all down to Nonik, and where is he? He's all the way in the back lines at this A-bomb site. Already a GG from XMS. No faith. No faith. 1 versus 5. It can happen. There's one. And then the time goes out.
Yep.
I wasn't looking at that part of the screen. I was not looking at that part of the screen.
I mean, there's that rotation from Major, right, that we see go towards Heaven, and it almost looks like they're rotating towards that A defense. But really what's happening is he's putting himself in towards Heaven so that they can play the retake. They take their 2 players who were playing Graffiti and just into water, and they put them just both inside that lower water. So the site's given up, but France really have to go above and beyond to take the angles over the ledge. And when it's when they do that, while they're trying to cross and whatnot, that those 2 players really capitalize. Retake comes through, and it's just Turkey. They gave France a chance, but then they ripped it from their cold, clammy hands.
Yeah, well, that's